What if the survival of humanity depended on a journey beyond our galaxy? What if love could transcend the boundaries of time and space? Today, we're breaking down Christopher Nolan's Interstellar, a movie that explores these questions and more in a mind-bending, heart-wrenching saga that you won't soon forget. Stick around, you won't want to miss this. Hello, and welcome to our deep dive review and analysis of Christopher Nolan's 2014 science fiction epic, Interstellar. Directed by Nolan and spanning genres like sci-fi, drama, and adventure, this film takes viewers on an interstellar journey like no other. Personally, I've always been intrigued by the film's exploration of complex scientific theories while delivering an emotionally impactful story. It's a film that leaves you with questions about humanity, love, and the universe itself. Reasons why it deserves a comprehensive discussion. In this review, we'll delve into the plot and story, analyze key characters, discuss the direction and cinematography, unpack the sound and music, explore the scientific aspects, and evaluate the emotional depth and cultural impact. So, sit tight and let's get started. Before we dive in, a huge spoiler alert. If you haven't seen the film, you might want to do that first, as we'll be discussing key plot points. The movie takes place in a dystopian future where Earth is dying, and humanity's last hope lies in finding a new habitable planet. Our protagonist, Cooper, joins a space expedition through a wormhole near Saturn, created by an unknown extraterrestrial intelligence. Their aim is to explore 3 potential planets for colonization. Along the way, they face trials and tribulations, including time dilation near a black hole, which adds urgency and complexity to their mission. Interstellar grapples with themes that are both intimate and grandiose, including survival, the imperative to save humanity, love, the love between a father and daughter that transcends time and space, time, the non-linear nature of time and its impact on human choices, human exploration, the drive to go beyond our limits and explore the unknown. The movie maintains a balancing act between slow, emotional moments and high-intensity action. The pacing is particularly noteworthy, keeping the audience engaged despite its nearly 3-hour runtime. The climax, where Cooper plunges into a black hole, merges scientific curiosity with emotional catharsis, resulting in an unforgettable cinematic experience. While Interstellar is a masterpiece in many ways, it's not without its flaws. There are some plot holes and inconsistencies that fans have pointed out, such as how they managed to fuel in the film, or the practicalities of setting up a colony on a new planet with limited resources. However, some of these are easier to overlook given the film's larger philosophical and emotional ambitions. Now, let's talk about the lifeblood of any story, the characters. Interstellar features a cast of multi-dimensional characters whose actions drive the plot and tug at our emotions. Cooper. Played by Matthew McConaughey, Cooper is an ex-pilot turned farmer. He's the backbone of the film, representing the human yearning for discovery and knowledge. Murph, Cooper's daughter, portrayed by Jessica Chastain and Mackenzie Foy at different ages, symbolizes hope and the emotional core of the story. Amelia Brand. Played by Anne Hathaway, Amelia is the scientist who accompanies Cooper. She represents the juxtaposition of logic and emotion, as she grapples with both in her decisions. Over the course of the film, we witness some compelling character arcs. Cooper evolves from a reluctant farmer into a galactic hero, realizing the depth of his love for his children. Murph transforms from a resentful daughter into a brilliant scientist who ultimately saves humanity. Amelia reconciles her scientific ambitions with her emotional self, particularly in terms of love and loss. The relationships in Interstellar serve to enhance its emotional depth. The father-daughter bond between Cooper and Murph is the emotional core of the film. Cooper and Amelia's professional and somewhat romantic relationship adds another layer, revealing that even in the depths of space, human emotions cannot be entirely compartmentalized. Supporting characters like Dr. Mann, played by Matt Damon, and Professor Brand played by Michael Caine, are crucial as they introduce moral and ethical dilemmas into the story. Each character serves to challenge or affirm the convictions of our main characters. When it comes to direction and cinematography, Interstellar is a feast for the eyes and the mind. But it's not just a feast. It's a meticulously prepared banquet where each dish has been carefully chosen and arranged to create a unified experience. Nolan's approach to storytelling is both intellectual and emotionally resonant. He masterfully blends complex narrative structures with raw human emotions. For example, consider the scene when Cooper leaves Earth. It could have been purely emotional, but Nolan infuses it with a sense of grandiosity by showing the spacecraft lifting off against the backdrop of a deteriorating Earth. Shot with a combination of 35mm film and IMAX cameras, the film offers stunning visual quality. Take, for instance, the scene where the team first enters the wormhole. The combination of practical effects and IMAX technology makes the sequence immersive and almost vertigo-inducing. Practical effects are used whenever possible to heighten realism. The docking scene after Dr. Mann's betrayal stands out in this regard. The spinning docking station and Cooper's spacecraft were built as real mechanical models, adding a layer of authenticity that CGI alone would struggle to achieve. Interstellar employs contrasting visual elements to bring its themes to life. For example, Earth versus space. The scenes on Earth are shot with an earthy, muted palette, reflecting the planet's dying state. This contrasts sharply with the vibrant and often sterile visuals of outer space. Claustrophobia versus agoraphobia. The film moves from the confined spaces of Cooper's farmhouse to the limitless expanses of space. Scenes like Cooper driving away from his home in a tight truck cab are juxtaposed against the open emptiness of a new galaxy, encapsulating the characters' internal struggles with their environments. A discussion about Interstellar would be incomplete without mentioning its groundbreaking sound and music. Hans Zimmer's stirring score is a character in itself, but it's just one part of the sonic landscape that makes this film a transformative experience. Zimmer departs from traditional science fiction soundtracks, opting for an emotionally charged score dominated by an organ. One cannot forget the palpable tension during the docking scene, where the music swells, matching the escalating stakes. It brings a human dimension to an otherwise technical situation. The film employs meticulous sound design to transport the audience into different environments. For instance, the silence in space scenes serves as a stark reminder of the vacuum and isolation. This silence contrasts vividly with the chaotic soundscapes of the harsh planetary landscapes, like the roaring waves on Miller's planet. Beyond the narrative, the sound design serves to create specific moods and atmospheres that deepen the viewer's immersion. Tension versus relief. The film manipulates sound levels to enhance tension. In high-stakes moments, like the emergency docking scene, the sound effects and score are bombastic, contributing to the stress and urgency. Conversely, moments of relief or emotional depth often feature subdued soundscapes, allowing dialogue and subtle ambient noises to breathe. Sense of wonder. During scenes where the characters discover something extraordinary, like the first sight of a wormhole or a new planet, the music takes on an ethereal, majestic quality that encapsulates the awe and wonder felt by the characters, and, by extension, the audience. Interstellar isn't just a visual and emotional journey, it's a cerebral one. The film dives into complex scientific concepts and makes them central to the plot. One of the most compelling aspects of Interstellar is its commitment to scientific accuracy where possible. From wormholes to black holes and the concept of time dilation, the film does a commendable job of integrating real science. While it does take some liberties for the sake of storytelling, the physics are grounded enough to make the fantastical elements seem plausible. Filmmakers consulted with physicist Kip Thorne, who is a Nobel laureate and one of the leading experts in the field of gravitational physics and astrophysics. This collaboration ensured that the film's depiction of complex scientific phenomena like wormholes and black holes was as accurate as possible. Beyond entertainment, Interstellar has educational value. It brings complex scientific theories into popular discourse and sparks curiosity about the universe and our place in it. It has inspired countless articles, videos, and discussions aiming to explain the science behind the story, making the movie a launchpad for deeper understanding and exploration. While Interstellar is undeniably a grandiose science fiction epic, it's the emotional journeys of its characters that make the film truly resonate. Film masterfully weaves complex scientific concepts with deeply personal stories, creating an emotional richness that is rare in this genre. The emotional crux of the film lies in the relationship between Cooper and his daughter Murph. A specific moment that exemplifies this is when Cooper is watching the years' worth of messages from his children after he returns from Miller's planet. His silent tears and emotional breakdown are devastating, encapsulating years of missed life and guilt in one wrenching scene. Characters in the film are repeatedly put in situations that test their humanity. The choice Dr. Mann makes to portray his team for his own survival reveals the darker aspects of human nature. On the other end, Cooper's ultimate sacrifice to detach and fall into the black hole reflects the heights of human altruism. It's not just the dramatic scenes that carry emotional weight. Quiet moments, like when Amelia Brand talks about love transcending dimensions, offers a softer but equally poignant layer of emotionality.
Love is the one thing we're capable of perceiving that transcends dimensions of time and space.
Her vulnerability in that moment, against the backdrop of the unknown, captures a universal human longing for connection and understanding. What adds even more depth are the variances in emotional tone throughout the film. Hope versus despair. One minute, you're filled with hope as the team successfully navigates the wormhole. The next, you're plunged into despair during the water planet sequence. Individual versus collective. The film constantly wrestles with the tension between individual emotional needs and the greater good. This is best exemplified when Cooper has to choose between returning to his family or saving humanity. As I wrap up this deep dive into Interstellar, it's hard to ignore the emotional resonance and intellectual stimulation the film has offered me. From the hauntingly beautiful soundtrack to the intricate plotting, it has left an indelible mark on how I view cinema. One of the most impressive aspects for me personally was the way the film blends hard science with emotionally charged storytelling. It invites us to think critically about our understanding of the universe, while also pondering the very human emotions that drive us to explore it in the first place. But the beauty of this film is that it can mean different things to different people. The ethical quandaries, the familial bonds, and the scientific explorations all provide ample room for individual interpretation. Some may see it as a cautionary tale about human hubris, while others may find it a hopeful story about human perseverance. Now, it's your turn. How did Interstellar impact you? Did it change your perspective on any issues? Do you see any aspects of the film in a different light after this discussion? I encourage you to think deeply about what this film means to you personally. Better yet, share your thoughts in the comments below or discuss them with friends and family. The value of a film like Interstellar is only amplified when it sparks meaningful conversations. That concludes our journey through the maze of emotion, science, and storytelling that is Interstellar. A big thank you to everyone for tuning in. Your engagement fuels this channel, and I can't wait to delve into more cinematic universes with you. If you found this analysis interesting, insightful, or even if you disagreed with some of my points, I'd love to hear from you. Let's keep this discussion going in the comment section or on my social media platforms. Your perspectives are what make these conversations rich and meaningful. Now, if you enjoyed today's deep dive, you're in for a treat. Next week, we're turning the spotlight onto a classic, Alfred Hitchcock's Psycho. We'll explore the groundbreaking techniques he employed and dissect why it remains one of the most iconic films in history. So don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you won't miss out on that exciting discussion. Until then, keep watching, keep thinking, And as always, keep the passion for cinema alive.